Hi students, this is your biology teacher. Today we discuss our chapter 1 of biology O level book, characteristics and classification of living organisms. We describe these characteristics in relations to movement, respiration, sensitivity, growth, reproduction, excretion and nutrition. These are some features of living organisms. What are the living things and non-living things? A simple answer. Living things have a variety of characteristics. They can move, respire, respond to stimuli, reproduce and grow, and are dependent on their environment. Non-living things are those which are not able to move or respond. You can see many non-living things around like table, chair, books, etc. And living things, animals, humans, plants, these are all living things. Okay. Now we discuss the features of living organisms one by one. Movement. Movement is a visible feature of animals and humans. Movement is the characteristics of organism. It is seen in animals more clearly than plants. It is an action by an organism causing a change of position or place. You can change your position by moving into your room, kitchen, lounge, outside, school, colleges, and similarly animals can change their place from one place to another. Locomotion. The movement of organism from one point to another in a directed and controlled way is called locomotion. When we talk about plants, plants can't change their place. But we can see movement in flowers, opening and closing of flowers, movement of leaves, shoots bending toward light. These are the visible characteristics of plant. Similarly, microscopic animals, they can swim or move in water, for example, Euglena and other prokaryotes and protists move freely from place to place. Euglena, amoeba, with the help of flagella and cilia, bacteria can swim through flagella and cilia. Next is respiration. Respiration is the chemical reaction in cells that break down nutrient molecules and release energy for metabolism. Respiration takes place in cells. Energy is required to perform vital activities such as growth and movement. From where this energy comes from? If we talk about plants, green plants derive their energy from sunlight by means of photosynthesis, and animals get their energy by organic food. Food substances such as carbohydrates, fats, they store up energy. This energy is released when they are broken down by oxidation into simpler substances such as carbon dioxide and water. This process is called respiration. You can see the word equation, glucose plus oxygen, and the end product is carbon dioxide plus water plus the release of energy. Next is sensitivity. Sensitivity is the ability to detect and respond to changes in their environment. This is called sensitivity. You can feel sensitivity very easily when you smell something unpleasant or touch very hot object, a stimulus produces and you move away from it. This is the sensitivity. Organisms detect a stimulus from the environment and produce a response to that stimulus. For example, when you touch a hot object, in a moment of 1 second, you pull your hand away. This is the stimulus and the response. Animals and plants are sensitive to any change in their surroundings. They often react to these changes in a beneficial way. For example, if you smell unpleasant or touch something hot, you immediately move from it, as I already told. Similarly, in plants, Mimosa pudica, touch me not plant. If you touch its leaves, they are automatically folding up. Similarly, sunflower move towards sunlight. Some animals change their color whenever they find predator. For example, chameleons, they change their color from red to brown whenever they find predator or feel hazard. Change in the environment or an external influence cause the organism to react. Such a change or external influence is called stimulus. The reaction of the organism called response. The change which you observe is the stimulus or you feel, and the reaction, and your reaction is the response. Next is growth. Growth is the permanent increase in size and dry mass by an increase in cell number or cell size or both. This increase is due to converting absorbed food into living protoplasm. Very easily we can observe the growth in humans, in animals, in plants. They are all increase in size. Some of the new material used to repair worn out part of the cell, rest is added to the original living matter to bring about an increase in size. This increase in size is due to the food which is absorbed into living protoplasm. For example, if we take the example of a seed germinates into a seedling and grow into a mature plant. It uses the store food. The embryo in seed uses store food. The egg of butterfly hatches into caterpillar, changes into pupa, and then finally the adult organisms. Next is reproduction. All living organisms are able to reproduce their own kind. In this way, the species live on through individual dies. You can see many species in the world. People die and newborn came. Similarly in plants, similarly in animals. The production of new offspring is a process by which genetic information is passed from one generation to the next. And these species can pass their genetic information to one another so that the same kind of individual are produced. Next is excretion. Excretion is the removal of metabolic waste product that have been produced as a result of process occurring inside the cell of an organism. Whatever the metabolic waste in the bodies of animals, it can remove out by excretory organs. Most animals have special organs for removing their excretory substances. And these excretory substances are carbon dioxide, minerals, and nitrogenous waste. Plants also excrete their waste product. but they lack excretory organs. They have no excretory organs. Okay. So we discussed some characteristics or features of living organisms which are common in all living organisms in all species. Now we move toward the concept and use of classification system. Okay, one point is left which is very important. It is nutrition. Nutrition is the taking in of material for energy, growth and development. Plants require light, carbon dioxide, water and ions to make their food by photosynthesis. They are not dependent on others for their food. Animals need organic compound, ions and usually water. The basic difference between plants and animals is their mode of nutrition. Plants contain chlorophyll and so can photosynthesize. They make their own food. They make food substances, carbohydrates from carbon dioxide, water and sunlight. Animals have to feed on organic food obtained from plants and other animals. So they are dependent on plants and animals for their food. Okay. Next topic is concept and use of classification system. State that organisms can be classified into groups by the factor that they share. We have discussed some features which are common in all animals. Now we discuss the classification system. There are millions of living organisms on Earth. It is impossible to name them easily without putting them into groups. This is called classification. There are so many, you can't remember that, so the scientists place them in a system of classification so that they easily recognized. In addition to above mentioned characteristics, which we discussed earlier, living organisms have other features in common. When we study living organisms under a microscope, we can see they are all made up of cells containing cell organelles. We discussed cell organelles in past chapters. Classification means putting things into groups. There are many possible ways in which we could group living organisms. For example, we could put all red organisms into one group and the blue organism into other group. What is the main purpose of classifying organisms? The main purpose is for every reference and identification so that we can find them easily. To show a relationship between organisms. To trace the possible origin of organism. These are the three features which are the main purpose of classifying organisms. Describe a species as a group of organisms that can reproduce to produce fertile offspring. Species. What are species? A group of organisms that can reproduce and produce fertile offspring. These species can be classified into groups by the feature that they share. For example, all mammals have bodies covered with hairs, feed their young ones, and have external ears or pinnas. This is the characteristics of mammals. So they place all mammals in one group. We can take species as a basic unit of classification. Organisms within a species can breed to produce offspring that can grow and develop and reproduce normally. Okay, now we end our video here. Tomorrow we will learn about the other topic related to classification system, which is binomial system of classification. So revise this topic and ask question, like my video, subscribe my channel. Till then, Allah Hafiz.